In the news this week, will you change your mind on The Voice? New polling underway to discover whether WA is open to change their vote, as commentator says it's time to suspend the referendum. A WA News exclusive.
Also tonight, the rare sighting of a dolphin at the Swan River Bank surprises Perth residents and tourists. International trade opens up to WA as Southeast Asian countries seek import trade opportunities. And later, Dr. Andrew Miller's comment.
This is The Evening News with Ivan Loon and Maliva Thorne.
Good evening. An exclusive WA news poll is currently underway, aiming to uncover whether you would be willing to change your stance on the Voice to Parliament referendum in light of new information. The results so far indicate that 95% of you are not willing to reconsider, while only 5% of you maintain an open mind on the matter. Simultaneously, Peter Kennedy has made a significant statement on this program, suggesting it's time for the Prime Minister to suspend the referendum. He joined me exclusively this week. Peter, I know you have some big calls to make. We'll get to that in a second. First, our ongoing polling shows that only a few people are willing to keep an open mind on a Voice referendum decision, one way or the other. Why is that?
Well, it seems that people do have set views, one way or the other. I mean, look, the issue of the Voice has been around nearly all the year, and there's been a lot of debate going backwards and forwards without a great deal of detail, and that's the problem. So I guess there have been comments that both the pro-Voice group and the no group, they have their set views. And I guess as a result of that, a lot of people, a lot of ordinary voters have made up their minds as well. That's what it would indicate, without the Prime Minister giving a great deal of information as to how he believes the Voice would work. And really the ball is in Mr Albanese's court between now and when the actual referendum is held to provide some more detail.
Now let's talk about your big call. You said the Prime Minister needs to put the referendum on hold. What are the reasons behind your views?
Well, look, the issue in recent weeks has been that the Voice has become more divisive, and views are more set in their ways, and there have been issues. If you don't agree with the Voice, the claim that people are racist, they're not interested in the best interests of Aboriginal people. That's a very serious claim. But a lot of people who say they're inclined to vote no are saying they're inclined to vote no because they don't have the detail. If they had more detail, that could help them make up a more informed position. But at the moment, they say they're being asked to effectively sign a blank cheque. And most people have been warned off signing blank cheques. And unless Mr Albanese comes up with more detail, then their situation won't change.
In your commentary, you've talked about the legislative concession model is needed to prove that it's workable. Otherwise, the country will stay divided if the Voice don't work. Can you elaborate more?
Well, look, I think Mr Albanese has gone about this the wrong way. I mean, and to try and get this decision done in the first term of a Labor government is a mistake. I think what he should have been doing in the first term of a Labor government is trying to promote the issue of the Voice, tell voters how it would work, and then look at it in the second term of a Labor government, provided they're re-elected. So I think he's tried to move too fast and tried to do too much, and with that approach, it's put the whole success of the Voice at risk. Look, the Voice has many admirable qualities. The idea is very good, and if it can bring the country together, that's the result that you want. But if it's going to divide the country, that's the last thing you want. There's a tremendous goodwill towards Aboriginal people, but you don't want to squander that goodwill. And the feeling at the moment is that could happen.
And you can read and watch Peter's complete comment and analysis right now on the WAMN Extra News Club. Peter, thank you for your time, and we'll see you again next week.
Thanks very much, Ivan.
South Perth residents have experienced a rare sighting of a dolphin at the Swan River foreshore this weekend. A friendly dolphin swam towards the riverside, giving people an opportunity for a close interaction, with morning joggers and tourists capturing the rare occasion with their phones.
It was an unexpected once-in-a-lifetime encounter, an experience where two dolphins approached residents and tourists at the Swan River foreshore in South Perth.
I was just going for a morning walk. Every day I just go for a morning walk, and then today was a very good and sunny day. So I went for a morning walk, and then suddenly everybody was there looking at the show, and then they were looking and filming. So I just went there and then look at like dolphins, 2 dolphins just coming out like just like that, and then I was like, oh wow, I've seen it before, but yeah, this time it was too near.
The dolphins were swimming in the river on Saturday morning before they came close to the river foreshore. Raj and other residents couldn't believe what they were seeing. They all pulled out their phones to capture the moment while simultaneously telling their family to come see the dolphins before they disappear.
When you pay for it, when you go on cruises, but it's just free, it's just 2 minutes walk from my home. So it was amazing. I immediately called my wife. I just say, come quickly, you're gonna miss it. So she just ran, and then there were like heaps of people there.
Although dolphins are often sighted in the Canning River area, it's not common for them to go upstream into the Swan River, let alone have such close interaction with people. The reason why the dolphins swam up to the river foreshore is not yet known. For Raj, however, this special encounter is something he will always remember.
That's why they just came to close, and they wanted to play. Actually, they wanted to play.
Okay.
Yeah, they were playing with the fishes. They were throwing the fish out of the water, and then they wanted to play with both sharks, dolphins.
Hi there. Are you looking for a new home or want to refinance your car mortgage to get a better rate? At AA Finance Solutions, we have the expertise and knowledge to help you to find the right loan for your needs and budgets. Contact us today. Let us help you to make your home ownership dream a reality.
AA Finance Solutions, your local mortgage broker.
The WA opposition has highlighted the challenges facing homeowners who have been impacted by the collapse of local building businesses and are struggling to receive adequate support from the state government. Opposition's shadow housing spokesman and Liberal politician Steve Martin has spoken out about a major flaw in policy that concerns the collapse of building businesses in the state. He says the government must address who can access its housing indemnity insurance scheme.
Well, Premier Cook and the Commerce Minister Sue Ellery can fix this in 5 minutes. It's not a lot of money. The payout hasn't been enormous in that uptick from 100,000 to 200,000, and there has been extraordinary circumstances in the last 3 years. Just because they are a few short weeks from signing their document doesn't mean they shouldn't be involved in this scheme. They need the money. We've heard from them. They need the insurance because this builder has gone broke after 3 years trying to get this house built.
A man has been charged by WA police officers following a car theft that occurred in Perth's southern suburbs. A 44-year-old man from St James was charged by Mirrabooka detectives after allegedly carrying out a string of crimes such as fraud, burglary and the theft of the car. A police helicopter later located the vehicle, which was allegedly parked in St James, as 2 men tried to make the licence difficult to see. They left in a different car from the property, and authorities arrested a 44-year-old man at a Bentley shopping centre. He was charged with more than 12 offences, including home burglary, drug possession and stealing. He appeared at the Perth Magistrates Court on Friday.
The Joondalup Transport Department Centre will reopen, focusing on driving tests for Perth's northern residents. The Cook government has revealed that the centre will be relaunched in November this year to provide practical driving assessments for C-Class licences, heavy vehicles, aged drivers and motorbikes. It will operate from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Saturday. Back in May, the centre was relocated to Butler due to population growth in Perth's northwest. As demands for driving tests continue to spike and the digital booking system faces significant pressures, the government has employed an additional 24 assessors to be based at the Joondalup Centre, providing an extra 130 tests per day or 35,000 tests per year.
The state government made a significant announcement with the Armidale line, a 130-year-old train line set to undergo a transformative upgrade starting from Monday the 20th of November of this year. This eagerly awaited project aims to bring about a modernised and efficient rail system, benefiting both commuters and the local community. The highlight of the project includes the construction of 5.5 kilometres of elevated rail, along with the establishment of 7 state-of-the-art new stations. Moreover, this upgrade will extend the line all the way to Byford, expanding the network's reach and removing railway crossings. To support the increased bus services, more than 100 additional buses will be deployed. Additionally, 1.2 kilometres of bus priority lanes will be established and intelligent system technology will be implemented to minimise disruptions to both passengers and road users.
And now here's Dabby Travis with what's coming up on 6 News tonight.
Thanks guys. On 6 News, praise for the Matildas despite a defeat against Sweden as England prepares to take on Spain in the Women's World Cup final. Anthony Albanese rallies the troops as Labour ramps up its Voice to Parliament campaign with a referendum date close to being revealed. And Donald Trump set to skip the first Republican debate in favour of an interview as he continues to lead in the polls. Watch live on our YouTube channel or our website 6newsau.com. For now though guys, it's back to you.
Thanks, Darby. Tomorrow on WAMN News, we'll be featuring an extended interview with Warren Mundine as the No campaign advocates arrive in Western Australia. We asked the important questions to the prominent First Nations businessman and ex-politician about the No camp's next move to target WA's multicultural votes. That's tomorrow afternoon, streaming on the WAMN News social media pages.
But right now, here's Grace Harrington with Western Perspective.
Thanks, Ivan and Melly. Welcome to Western Perspective. I'm Grace Harrington. Western Australia's international trading opportunities are revving up again, with the Malaysian government's trade delegates arriving in Perth this week in search of import and export opportunities. For local businesses, the news of the delegation's arrival was music to their ears, as the visit brought much potential for future business opportunities. The trade group visited several businesses throughout the week, including Subiaco's new multicultural supermarket, the MCQ Pavilion Fresh Market concept store. We explore what the future holds for trade synergy and how it will benefit the WA economy.
After several years of international trade disruptions due to the pandemic, WA's local businesses are at the forefront of gaining international trade opportunities with the Malaysian government trade delegates from Sabah. This week, the delegates have visited several businesses, including Perth's multicultural supermarket chain, to understand their operations, products and produce in order to explore potential food export and import opportunities. As trade activities continue to grow in the region, local business associations are assisting and facilitating tours to boost WA's local economy. The Australian-Malaysian Business Chamber Vice President Bernard Cha sees potential synergies between both countries' wants and needs.
The main goal is for the Chamber is to have bilateral trade between both countries. Part of this is to introduce them to successful WA businesses. They're going around all the different business to have a look at their operations, and where they see some synergy between both countries, where they're looking at produce here, and even that encourages bilateral trade, they would like to meet these businesses. And so with meeting Hugh from MCQ, they are a prominent WA supermarket business. We see there's potential alignment between what they do in the Sabah, the business requirements there, as well as the business here.
The delegates also visited WA's farms as his organisation encouraged trade activities and lift the veil on the food source of Perth's local supermarkets. The MCQ supermarket group has several stores across the Perth area, with the company differentiate itself by focusing the store's community reputation as an international supermarket, with goods and products from countries as far as India, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. MCQ's strong multicultural reputation is vital as it attracts the Malaysian delegation's interest in trade. Hiu Yun is the legal counsel for the MCQ group and sees the opportunity for MCQ to host the delegation as extremely valuable.
Look, the outcome that we like today is for obviously members of the delegation to take back to Malaysia what they are seeing today and what they have felt with their hands and what they have smelled with their senses and also what they have tasted. So we have given the Malaysian delegation members an opportunity to actually taste some of the products, some of the produce here, and the response has been quite positive. So we want to, impart some of those experiences so that, they go back and they pass that on to their businesses over there and perhaps see if there's any opportunities there that, that we could do some cooperation between the two markets.
While nothing is set in stone yet, the visit from the Malaysian delegation has been a great success and suggests a bright future for future import and export opportunities.
That was our exclusive report on the visit from the Malaysian trade delegates. You can read more of our weekly premium stories now on the WAMN Extra News Club, supporting independent local news and keeping democracy strong. And now, here's Dr. Andrew Miller with his weekly medical and news commentary.
Hi, thanks for your time. I was reflecting recently after seeing a friend who's very unwell and may not have long to live, how difficult those conversations can be and how it's very awkward sometimes for people to know what to do when you have a friend or a colleague or a family member who's in the situation of being very unwell. The key, of course, is to do two things. The first is to leave the power with them as far as deciding when and how to catch up and what things to talk about when you do. And secondly, to remain available, to not close off that friendship because it's all too difficult. Because in the midst of being very unwell, people sometimes just appreciate being able to catch up and talk, and often not be talking necessarily about the elephant in the room, the thing that's wrong with them. Now, that may not seem very deep and meaningful, but what is deep and meaningful is that you're prepared to continue that connection and you're prepared to show them how you care about them rather than necessarily have to talk about it. Sometimes in our nervousness we can kind of blurt out our own problems and our own emotional reaction to what the person who's unwell is going through. So if you can think beforehand maybe about how you'll want to approach it, prioritising them and how they're feeling about things, without prying and without pushing questions that they may not have the energy to answer at that time, then it's good if you can keep the focus on the other person and on their needs. They'll appreciate your sensitivity to the fact they may be tired, they may be in pain, they may not be themselves on a particular day, but you will still unconditionally reach out to them to try and remind them that you are a friend, and importantly that it's quality of life that matters. It's quality of friendships that are one of the most important things for all of us, and that there's really positive things you can do sometimes just by doing the silly stuff that all of us friends do, sitting around talking about things that don't matter so much, but in the midst of all of that, displaying that they matter more than anything else to you in that time.
That was Dr. Andrew Miller, and that's Western Perspective for this week. Until next Sunday evening, it's back to you, Ivan and Melly.
Thanks, Grace. And that's our weekly news and current affairs. We have the latest news on our website, wamnnews.com.au.
Don't forget to subscribe to the WAMN Extra News Club so we can continue our work in the community. Full details on wamnnews.com.au/news/extra. From Melly, Grace and Peter and myself, wish you good health, good night. See you next Sunday.
Thanks for being with us.